Hi there, I'm Caitlin McDonald with the Social Speak Network, and this video complements our blog post on why your medical practice, why as a doctor, you need to be focusing on search engine optimization. So in this video, I'm actually going to be showing some of the tools that we utilize to find what keywords to focus on for your medical practice to build up that search engine optimization. So I'm going to share my screen, and the first thing that you are going to see here is a tool, Ubersuggest. Now, Ubersuggest is a Neil Patel's tool, and it is a free tool that you can utilize. I am signed in right now, but this is free. It's something that you just sign in with your Google account. And then by doing that, you can hook it up to your website so that you can measure things like traffic and the number of backlinks you have, any new backlinks that are showing up and things like that. So it kind of takes all of Google's tools and compresses them into reports that you should be taking a look at for search engine optimization. But when you're first starting out, we utilize Ubersuggest as a way to find really specific content that you can include on your website, and then also to get a sense of how many things like backlinks or the page rank of your competition. So I did a search already for pediatrician. We work with a lot of pediatrics offices, and so I thought this might be a great thing to start with. So as you can see, when we do a search for pediatrician, we have a list of keywords over here, and these are just suggested keywords that are similar to pediatrician. The volume of the searches, cost per click if you were to bid on this using Google Ads, page difficulty, and then the SEO difficulty. So for most websites, if you're seeing competition having a SEO difficulty here of 62, 65, 46, these are going to be pretty difficult for you to rank for, especially if you haven't built that foundation of keywords that Google's already ranking you for. So we recommend scrolling down on the list until you find that SEO difficulty that's a little bit lower. Now you can use this filters technique. And so here you can set what you want the search volume to be, as well as the SEO difficulty. And so we actually utilize that, but for the purpose of this video, I want to show you kind of all the keywords that show up here. Then over on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the actual results that show up in Google. So for pediatrician, for example, we see a lot of WebMD, healthychildren.org, Very Well Health, etc., pediatrics. So a lot of very highly ranked websites with high domain scores. This domain score is how positively Google sees you. So 91, 100, 54, 43 here. That looks like the lowest on page 1. And so you probably, just trying to rank for the word pediatrician probably isn't going to be good for you to start. However, as you build up that foundation of keywords below that, you can slowly work up over time for a top keyword like pediatrician. So let's see what keywords we should be focusing on. So if we scroll down, there are quite a few for pediatric urgent care or for specialties that you might have. So the ophthalmologist, for example, if you have that specialist in your office, this could be a great one to go after. Pediatric urgent care near me, for example, that has 20. And so this is the type of search that people do when they're on their phones. So they'll, rather than typing in, they'll actually say pediatrician or pediatric urgent care near me. So you want to make sure that you're including language like that on a blog post or on a page on your website. Here we go, urologist. So that's a different one. Even pediatric clinic has a lower SEO difficulty score. So rather than just going after pediatrician, you could have pediatric clinic near me. Pediatric urologist. So again, those specialties are good to highlight as well. I saw down here, nose, throat, let's see, pediatrician for kids. So these are called long-term keyword phrases. And so as you're writing content, again, don't just focus on that top keyword. Think about those secondary and third keywords that make up phrases for you to write content around. There was one, here we go, a pediatrician near me that accepts Medicaid. So if you accept Medicaid, this could be something to make sure to put in a blog post or on your website at somewhere, just because it is absolutely something that is getting, quite a few searches. And yes, these are national numbers, but still it ranks up here. And that has that lower SEO difficulty. Now, one of the things that I like about this table here is the tool, Ubersuggest, also allows you to look at related keywords, questions, prepositions, and comparisons. All of these make fantastic blog posts because they are really answering the questions that people have. So for example, let's see. Okay, a lot of these have to do with how much pediatricians make. However, there are quite a few here as well that talk about Medicaid. So pediatricians who make Medicaid, how much do they make? All right. Okay, so pediatrician when you're pregnant. So you could have a blog post specifically about how to find a pediatrician when you're pregnant, or when to start talking to a pediatrician. Even answering things like, will a pediatrician prescribe birth control? I'm assuming that you probably aren't. However, this is a question that people are asking, and it's something that you'd be able to rank in the eyes of Google for, and start building up that foundation. So over time, you can start focusing on those keywords that 100% you need to be ranking for. Let's take a look at the prepositions real fast. Okay, so a bunch of these are talking about Medicaid, but we also see babies near me. For newborn, that's a good one. ADHD. So you could have a post that's specifically on why your pediatrics office, the pediatrician office near them is the right fit if your child has ADHD. And you'd want to make sure to include this exact phrase right here. So let's say you do end up writing a blog post on pediatrician for ADHD. You would then be able to come over here to see who else is ranking for that keyword. Now, if we take a look here, these domain scores all also do have, they are all fairly high as well. So what you can do is you can reach out to the author of, see what this everyday health article is, find the right ADHD specialist, and you could email the webmaster or the editor of this article and see if your article, if it is educational and provides great information, you can actually email them to see if they wouldn't mind adding you as a resource that they link to within their blog post. Now, getting these high quality links back to your site are incredibly important for search engine optimization. We do see, for example, right here. So this person, eastbaypediatrics.com. They don't have any links. They are on the second page, so you can see the number of visits does go down, but their domain score is 7. So if you have the right content that's related to pediatrician for ADHD, and you start building backlinks from these higher articles here and higher websites, you're going to be showing Google that your content is very well written and it's relevant and that people want to read it. So this could be a great topic to talk about. Another one is comparisons. So I love writing articles with comparisons. I think that this is a great way to stand apart from your competition, to provide great value. And so here for pediatrician, writing one about pediatrician or family doctor. What's the difference? Why would you choose one versus the other? If you are a family doctor, this is a great topic to talk about as well. And let's see, family medicine versus family doctor. I don't know why somebody would be searching this, but pediatrician or veterinarian, that seems kind of silly to, to be talking about. But pediatrician or family doctor, for example, yes, it only has 90 searches. However, that means combined with this page difficulty of 5 and the SEO difficulty of 7, most likely you're going to make an impact by writing about this topic or having one of your doctors answering this question, and you would be more likely to be able to place on the top pages of Google fairly quickly for this, especially if you then go out and get those backlinks. So one thing, once you have a topic or a handful of questions that you found that people are asking about your specialty, you can then write up an interview for your doctor. And we love doing this just because it allows you to get multiple media at one time. So you have the audio if you ever want to start a podcast. You have the visual component through the video. And then you also easily get a transcript of this keyworded content of questions that people are actually asking that then you can put on your website. We have a full blog post, I'll link to it down here, that is about how to utilize interviews or videos in order to make transcripts that can then be turned into a blog post. You'll see even with this video, we had that podcast. The podcast is the intro to this blog post, and then this tutorial is really the bulk of that blog post. So we've talked about Neil Patel's Ubersuggest tool. This is a free tool. There are plenty of paid tools that are very similar. Keyword Finder is one that we've talked about in the past, and that is just kwfinder.com. The problem with this is they now are, and you'll see it's a very similar layout to Neil Patel's. However, they restrict the number of searches that you can do on the free account, whereas Neil Patel's tool really is a free tool. Yes, if you are, linking up your website, they are probably collecting data on the number of visitors and the backlinks and everything. However, this is a great free option. So there is that keyword finder. Moz has a SEO tool, I think. HubSpot has a website grader. That's always good to look at. But this, again, the Neil Patel one, it is a great way to dive into how well the backbones of your website are even performing. Are there pages that don't have header 1 tags? Are there pages that are missing alt tags on images? Can you improve the number of pages that are linking together? Kind of things like that. Neil Patel's tool really showcases that very well. The last thing that we do, however, when we are doing keyword research is we actually turn over to Google and we take a look to see what other people are actually writing and to see if Google has any other recommended search results. So I'm going to do this, the pediatrician or family doctor, and I just go right over here to Google. Now, oftentimes I will be in the incognito mode, and that's just so that I can really see everything that they have. But you can take a look to see what other people are talking about. So you'll notice a lot of these folks are using that keyword that we just searched for, pediatrician or family doctor, in the title of the website or of the article. And here, if you don't see that happening, then make sure 100% that you are writing on that topic, because by having the words, that phrase in the title of the page as well as in the URL, it can be a great way to show Google right away, hey, look, I'm actually talking about this, whereas my competition isn't necessarily talking about it. But you can get a sense of, what other people are writing about. So how to decide. Let's see what this one is, choosing a pediatrician for your new baby. I'm sure in here, in this Kids Health article, somewhere in there, it has pediatrician versus family doctor. Oh, this looks like a forum. So forums can be great places to then get more backlinks into your website. So if you write an article, pediatrician versus family doctor, absolutely post it. This is from 2011, so it's not too current, but post it as, hey, we just wrote this great resource, thought it might be helpful for you as you're deciding whether to utilize a pediatrician or a family doctor, and add the link into a forum. Quora is another great place, Quora, for you to do things like that as well. So if you see somebody asking a question, pediatrician versus family doctor there, you can add your content and a link there as well, and that counts as a good backlink too. So this, let's see, Revere Health, so they have pediatrician versus family care doctor. So they have just pediatricians, family physicians, how to search. So this is a very short article. Imagine if you had this article and then 3 videos of different doctors answering specific questions about when to utilize a pediatrician, when family physicians are appropriate, and then comparing the 2 of them. So by having that multimedia, it allows you to have much more content very easily on your website. Additionally, right here, we're not seeing any videos popping up. However, there would be a chance that your video would be able to show up. Let's see. So there are some folks who have talked a little bit about pediatrician, family doctor, a pediatrician, the difference between family medicine and internal medicine. So no one specifically, at least on this first page, has answered the pediatrician versus family care doctor or family doctor. This one, look, another forum. So this could be a great one to talk about. Just going to keep on going down this rabbit hole. If people are asking their peers for their insights about whether they should utilize a pediatrician or a family doctor, or go to one specialist or another, this is an excellent opportunity to jump in and see if you can also write content or have your doctors film content about the topic. So it's important to have your website, again, rank for on Google, just because most folks, prospects that you have are looking for your specialty online, or they're researching the referrals that they get. They want to make sure that you are the correct choice for them and for their family. And by doing keyword research, you can start to understand what language they're actually utilizing and what questions they actually have as they're going through this decision-making process. Search engine optimization has the ability to drastically increase the ROI that you get from digital marketing, just because it gets you shown more frequently on Google, as well as increases the brand recognition and quickly increases the fact that people know, like, and trust you, and that you'll become more of a household name. So we highly recommend utilizing search engine optimization. And when you're going through and first starting out, please take a look at Neil Patel's tool. You can do a Google search for Ubersuggest, or it's app.neilpatel.com/Ubersuggest, and you'll be able to get there. From here, type in that top level keyword that ultimately you do want to make sure that your website ranks for, and then take a look at the questions, prepositions, and comparisons to see if there are any subtopics that are going to be more likely that you will rank for quickly. And as you start growing that baseline, you'll be able to target those higher and higher difficulty keywords in the future. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you have liked this video and you want more like it, or if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you want to read the full blog post or check out the podcast that goes along with this, head on over to socialspeaknetwork.com, and we have the blog post over there. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.